Imagine it's the early 1920s. Bacteria has been discovered, and thanks to past years' research, we now know that most bacteria are responsible for the infections and illnesses that occur today. But, unfortunately, it's 1920, and we don't know how to combat bacteria. You get a bacterial infection, and you die. Flash forward to today. You get the same bacterial infection. This time you go to the doctor, and he prescribes you antibiotics. You take these antibiotics, and you start to feel better. Who do we thank for these antibiotics, though? We thank Alexander Fleming. In 1928, Alexander Fleming was pursuing an idea of a wonder drug that would kill bacteria. At this time, nobody knew how to combat bacteria. Fleming had loads and loads of petri dishes lying everywhere, though. And this caused a severe amount of contamination to occur across these petri dishes. So he decided to scratch all that and throw it in the Lysol bath, killing everything on the petri dish. Unfortunately, there were so many petri dishes that the Lysol bath couldn't reach all of them. The ones on top still remained contaminated with the bacteria. This turned out to be a really, really good thing, but Fleming didn't know it at the time. A couple of weeks later, one of his research assistants comes in, and Fleming tries to guilt trip him because honestly he's working by himself now and he's swamped with work. So he shows him all these petri dishes that he's been handling with, and he notices there's something that he didn't notice before. On one of the petri dishes, he sees mold growing, and he notices something amazing is happening with this mold. This mold is able to kill the bacteria on that plate. And that was what Fleming was looking for. So, now the question was, what was this mold? What was this miracle occurring to Fleming's eyes? So, to his convenience, right below him, in the rooms below him, was a person who mastered in mold. He was an expert in mold. His name was C.J. La Touche. And so Fleming asked him to come up and take a look at this mold. And right away, La Touche knew what it was. It was penicillium. And now that Fleming knew what it was and what it did, the next big question was, how could he make this into a drug that would be efficient for humans to use? Unfortunately, Fleming didn't know how to use it though. He didn't have the chemical understanding of how to break down this mold into a drug that could be used. So he wrote his findings, and they sat and sat. 12 years go by. 2 Oxford students during World War II, whose names were Howard Florey and Ernst Chain, decided to look through some old documents to try and look for something regarding bacterial infections. And they found Fleming's documents. They went through them and learned about penicillium and what it did. And now, times had advanced during this time, and these guys had a very, very strong chemical understanding, and they were able to convert the mold into a powder that could be packed into a pill and then used by humans in a safe and efficient manner. And this was penicillin. And this is responsible for all the antibiotics we have today.